You wake up every day, and you think the world owes you something. You scroll through life waiting for a miracle, waiting for someone to hand you the success you dream about. But the truth is, the only person standing in the way of your greatness is the person staring back at you in the mirror. You can lie to everyone else. You can pretend to work hard. You can play small and blend in. But if you cheat yourself, if you settle for less than you are capable of, that lie will haunt you. Every missed opportunity, every excuse, every half-hearted effort is a betrayal. You are the only one who can steal your own potential. Success does not come from luck. It comes from showing up when you feel like quitting. It comes from discipline when no one is watching. It comes from deciding that what you want more than anything else in the world is worth the struggle, the sweat, the discomfort. When you cheat yourself, you rob your future. You trade your dreams for temporary comfort. You convince yourself that small progress is enough when the fire inside of you was meant to burn bright. There will be days when your energy is low, when your confidence falters, when the world screams at you to give up. That is the moment that defines you. Do not look for shortcuts. Do not try to trick your way to success. The world does not reward the clever liar. It rewards the relentless fighter. The person who does what must be done even when it hurts. You cannot fake your way through growth. You cannot cheat your way into becoming the person you are meant to be. The moment you wake up and face the day, you have a choice. You can either let life dictate your path, or you can take full ownership of it. Most people spend their lives blaming circumstances, blaming others, blaming the system, blaming luck. But if you are honest, if you strip everything away, the real competition you face every single day is with yourself. The person staring back at you in the mirror is not just a reflection. It is a test, a challenge, a reminder that the only thing standing between where you are and where you want to be is your own commitment, your own discipline, your own courage to push further than you did yesterday. It is easy to point outward. It is easy to say someone else is faster, smarter, luckier. But none of that matters if you are cheating yourself. The mirror does not lie. It does not care about your excuses, your stories, your reasons. It only reflects the truth of the effort you put in, the choices you made, and the potential you refuse to honor. Every day you choose comfort over growth. Every day you settle for mediocrity when greatness is within reach. You are in a battle, and you are losing to yourself. The world may applaud small victories, but deep down, you know when you have not given your all. You know when you could have done more, been more, achieved more, and yet you chose the easy way. Think about the times you avoided the hard work, the times you procrastinated, the times you told yourself, I will start tomorrow, or I cannot do this. Every one of those moments adds up. Every time you settle for less than your full potential, you are not just losing time, you are eroding your self-respect, your confidence, your belief in yourself. And the truth is, no one else can fight that battle for you. Your friends cannot push you harder than you can push yourself. Your environment cannot force you to take the next step. Your mentors cannot instill a fire in you that you do not choose to keep burning. The fight is within. The challenge is internal. And winning it begins with acknowledging that the only person who can cheat you is you. When you stop competing with yourself, when you stop measuring your effort and your progress, you allow yourself to drift. You allow laziness, doubt, and fear to take over. You allow potential to wither because you are too comfortable hiding from it. But imagine a life where you gave everything you had every single day. Imagine looking in the mirror and seeing someone who is relentless, someone who refuses to cut corners, someone who treats every small action with the respect it deserves. That reflection would not just be a face. It would be proof of your integrity, your resilience, and your refusal to let life slip through your fingers. That is the power of realizing your greatest opponent is yourself. The person in the mirror does not judge you for failing, but it will never allow you to lie to yourself without consequences. Every time you cheat, every time you take shortcuts, every time you allow fear to guide your actions, you are slowly building a wall between yourself and the life you want. And no one else can dismantle it for you. You can choose to wake up with a sense of purpose, to push yourself just a little further each day, to face the discomfort of growth head on. You can choose to compete against yourself, not in arrogance, not in comparison, but in relentless pursuit of your own excellence. Because the only way to win at life, the only way to achieve what you are truly capable of, is to master the person in the mirror. So stop looking for external excuses, stop blaming others, stop hiding behind temporary comforts. Confront yourself, hold yourself accountable. Challenge yourself to work harder, dream bigger, and be better than you were yesterday. The race you are in is not against the world, it is against yourself. And every step you take toward being the best version of you is a step away from the person who once thought they could settle, who once thought they could cheat themselves. That reflection in the mirror, the one you may have ignored, is waiting for you to rise and show up fully. Excuses are the silent thieves of your potential. They are the subtle whispers in your mind telling you it is okay to settle, it is okay to delay, it is okay to do less than what you are capable of. At first, they seem harmless. You tell yourself today is not the right day, tomorrow will be better, circumstances are unfair. But every excuse you allow takes a piece of your future with it. They may appear small in the moment, but over time, they pile up like stones, creating barriers that keep you from the person you were meant to become. You may think that excuses protect you, that they give you comfort, but in reality, they are the very things that steal your dreams and dilute your life. Every great achievement in history was built by people who refused to let excuses dictate their actions. They faced challenges, obstacles, setbacks, yet they never let a single, "I cannot," or "it is too hard," steal their momentum. Excuses are easy to make because they require no effort. They give you a temporary sense of relief, a justification for not trying, but they never deliver results. You may hear others praise you for trying or for showing up, but deep down, you know the difference between effort with excuses and effort without them. Excuses may feel like a shield in the moment, but they are chains in the long run, binding you to mediocrity, to disappointment, and to the haunting thought of what could have been. Think about the times you told yourself you could not do something. Perhaps it was fear of failure, fear of rejection, or fear of judgment. Perhaps it was because the work felt too difficult, too uncomfortable, too inconvenient. Each of those moments was a choice, to surrender to excuses or to rise above them. The path to greatness is never easy, but it is always simple in its truth. Excuses have no place on that path. They are lies you tell yourself to avoid the temporary discomfort that comes with growth. But every time you give in, you are essentially saying your potential is not worth the effort. And nothing, not time, not opportunity, not talent, can replace the loss of potential that comes from choosing excuses over action. It is easy to look around and blame circumstances. You may feel the world is unfair, the odds are stacked against you, or you do not have the right resources. But here is the truth. Successful people are not the ones with perfect conditions. They are the ones who refuse to allow excuses to control their narrative. They acted even when conditions were less than ideal. They persisted when the path was unclear. They took ownership of every step, every choice, and every consequence. The only thing stopping you is the permission you give to your excuses. The moment you stop letting them control your actions is the moment you begin to reclaim your power. Excuses also breed regret. They plant the seeds of what if and if only. that grow silently until they become overwhelming. You may convince yourself it is okay today, that tomorrow will be better, but tomorrow will arrive with the same excuses if you do not confront them now. The life you dream about, the success, the growth, the satisfaction, cannot be achieved while excuses remain in control. Every small decision to bypass responsibility, every rationalization that justifies inaction, is a thread that weakens your commitment to yourself. When you look back years from now, you will not remember the comfort of your excuses. You will remember the opportunities you let slip away, the dreams you betrayed, and the potential you refused to honor. True freedom comes from accountability. It comes from choosing action over excuses, from facing fear and discomfort head on. It comes from the understanding that nothing in life is owed to you, that success is earned, and that the only way to honor your potential is to eliminate every excuse that stands in your way. You must recognize excuses for what they are: lies disguised as protection, illusions of safety that keep you small. Challenge them, confront them, replace them with discipline, persistence, and relentless commitment to your growth. The moment you do, you will feel the weight lift, the clarity arrive, and the power of your true potential unfold. Talent alone is nothing without consistency. Too many people rely on their natural gifts and wonder why they do not see the results they desire. They believe that being smart, strong, or creative is enough to achieve greatness. But talent is like a seed. It has potential, yes, but without regular care, without the water of effort and the sunlight of discipline, it will wither and die. Consistency is what transforms potential into reality. It is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. You can be the most talented person in the world, but if you show up only when it feels convenient, only when motivation strikes, only when life is easy, your talent will never take you where you want to go. Consistency beats talent because it demands persistence. It demands dedication. It demands a daily refusal to quit, even when the world seems to conspire against you. Every great accomplishment you admire is not a product of luck. It is a product of countless hours of showing up, of repeating the small actions that most people are too impatient to continue. Consistency does not demand dramatic effort every day. It demands unwavering commitment to the process, even when progress feels invisible. The artist who practices for hours, the athlete who trains in the cold and rain, the entrepreneur who faces failure after failure. What unites them is that they never let a single day pass without action. They understand that momentum is built one step at a time, that mastery is the result of repetition, and that excellence is cultivated through persistent effort. Without consistency, talent becomes wasted potential, dreams remain fantasies, and regret becomes the only witness to what could have been. It is easy to be inspired once in a while, to feel motivated in bursts, and to imagine success when everything feels aligned. But real growth comes when you push yourself, even when motivation is absent. Consistency is not glamorous. It is not exciting. It does not offer instant rewards. It is waking up every day and choosing action. Even when the energy is low, even when fear is high, even when the world seems indifferent. Consistency is doing what you know must be done. Not because it is easy, not because it brings immediate recognition, but because it is the only way to honor your potential. Talent without consistency is like a car with no fuel. It may look impressive, but it will never move forward. Every small, repeated effort compounds over time. The person who writes 1 page a day will finish a book. The person who trains 1 hour a day will achieve peak performance. The person who studies a little every day will master skills others only dream of. It is not the extraordinary moments, the sudden breakthroughs, or the flashes of brilliance that create lasting results. It is the quiet, invisible, persistent actions that build a foundation no obstacle can shake. Consistency gives you a rhythm, a structure, and a reliability that talent alone cannot provide. It makes the impossible possible. Because the impossible is never built in a day. It is built in hundreds of days, months, and years of consistent effort. Many people give up too soon because they expect immediate results. They believe that if progress is not fast, if recognition is not instant, if success does not come immediately, they must not be talented enough. But consistency teaches patience. It teaches resilience. It teaches that results are the natural consequence of persistent action over time. The world rewards those who endure, who refuse to quit, who embrace the grind while others rest. Talent may open doors, but consistency carries you through them. Talent may make you capable, but consistency makes you unstoppable. Do not let your talent go to waste. Do not allow moments of laziness, doubt, or distraction to steal what is rightfully yours. Show up every day, do the work, and trust the process. Celebrate small wins, embrace challenges, and continue forward, even when progress is slow or unseen. The person who is consistent is the person who builds unstoppable momentum, who creates results that last, and who ultimately achieves what most people only dream about. Remember, consistency beats talent because it turns potential into achievement, dreams into reality, and effort into lasting success. Growth never comes from comfort. It is a simple truth, yet one that many of us spend our lives avoiding. We crave ease, we seek the familiar, and we cling to routines that feel safe. But comfort is the enemy of progress. It lulls you into stagnation. It convinces you that good enough is enough, and it keeps you small when you are capable of so much more. True growth is born from challenge, from discomfort, from moments that push you to the edge of what you thought possible. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, every time you face the unknown and embrace it, you are planting the seeds of transformation. The struggle may be painful, but the result is power, resilience, and the ability to rise higher than you ever imagined. Life is full of opportunities that demand discomfort. A promotion, a new skill, a big decision. None of these come wrapped in ease. They demand courage, they demand effort, and they demand a willingness to fail and get back up. Most people shrink from this reality. They choose the path of least resistance, convincing themselves that safety is the same as success. But safety is temporary, and comfort is fleeting. Growth does not reward the cautious. It rewards those willing to step into the fire, to face fear, and to endure struggle with the knowledge that every difficulty carries a lesson. Every challenge strengthens character, and every failure brings you closer to mastery. The discomfort of growth is not just physical, it is emotional and mental. It is the unease of taking responsibility, the anxiety of being judged, the fear of making mistakes. But these feelings are not signs that you should retreat. They are signals that you are moving in the right direction. If you are not uncomfortable, you are not stretching. If you are not being challenged, you are not evolving. Growth requires tension, it requires friction. It requires a relentless push against the boundaries of your current self. Every time you resist this push, every time you choose the comfortable over the challenging, you are choosing mediocrity over greatness. Consider the times in your life when you achieved something meaningful. Was it easy? Probably not. Was it uncomfortable? Absolutely. The late nights, the hard conversations, the setbacks, the failures, they were all part of the process. And yet you persisted. That persistence is what turned struggle into strength. That persistence is what turned uncertainty into confidence. Growth does not happen in a vacuum. It happens in motion, in effort, and in the willingness to face what scares you most. Discomfort is the training ground for your future self. Every challenge you accept, every fear you confront, every difficult decision you make is an investment in the person you are becoming. Most people avoid discomfort because they mistake it for pain. They think struggle is punishment or that failure is permanent. But struggle is temporary, and failure is a teacher. The lessons you learn from stepping outside your comfort zone, from confronting uncertainty are invaluable. They teach you resilience, patience, creativity, and adaptability. They give you strength that no easy path can provide. And over time, they build a foundation so solid that no obstacle can shake you, no setback can stop you, and no fear can hold you back. Discomfort also reveals your true potential. It exposes the limits you have accepted for yourself and challenges you to go beyond them. When you embrace the difficult, you discover capabilities you never knew existed. You realize that your strength is not measured by how easy things feel, but by how much you can endure, overcome, and grow despite adversity. Comfort may feel safe, but it will never teach you this lesson. It will never push you to excel, to reach, to stretch, or to rise. True fulfillment comes not from ease, but from effort, courage, and a willingness to embrace the unknown. So do not run from discomfort. Do not shrink from challenges. Do not let fear of the unknown stop you from moving forward. Growth is waiting on the other side of struggle, and every step you take into discomfort brings you closer to the life you were meant to live. You were designed for more than ease, for more than comfort, and for more than mediocrity. Embrace the challenge, step into the hard moments, face the fear, push yourself beyond what feels safe, because that is where true transformation begins. Every promise you make to yourself is a contract with your future, and breaking it is one of the most subtle forms of self-betrayal. We all make promises, some big, some small, promises to work harder, to take care of ourselves, to pursue our dreams, to change habits that hold us back. And yet, time and again, we let those promises slip. We tell ourselves it is okay to skip a workout, to postpone a task, to indulge in old patterns of thought, to settle for less than what we deserve. Each time we do, we send a message to ourselves that our word, our commitment, and ultimately our potential are not valuable. The danger is that when you repeatedly break promises to yourself, you start to believe that nothing you say, no action you take, and no goal you set has weight. You start to cheat yourself without even realizing it. Breaking promises to yourself does not just affect your immediate goals. It erodes trust in the most important relationship you have, the one with yourself. The moment you cannot rely on yourself to follow through, your confidence diminishes, your motivation falters, and your inner voice becomes filled with doubt. You begin to question whether you are capable of change, of growth, of achieving the things that matter most. And the irony is that no one else has to do anything to stop you. Your own broken promises do the damage. Every time you compromise your own word, you are silently agreeing that mediocrity is acceptable, that excuses are reasonable, and that comfort is more important than growth. Self-discipline is built one promise at a time. Every commitment you keep strengthens your confidence, reinforces your integrity, and solidifies the belief that you are capable of achieving what you set out to do. When you honor your word to yourself, you create a ripple effect that touches every area of your life. Your actions become aligned with your intentions, your energy becomes focused, and your progress becomes unstoppable. But when you break promises, you inject inconsistency into your own story. And inconsistency is the enemy of greatness. The choices you make, even in small moments, define the trajectory of your life. Skipping one step, avoiding one challenge, making one compromise may feel insignificant in the moment, but compounded over time, those small betrayals can become the difference between a life of regret and a life of purpose. It is easy to underestimate the power of these daily decisions. We convince ourselves that one missed goal, one skipped task, or one neglected promise is harmless. We rationalize, telling ourselves that we will make up for it tomorrow, or that it does not matter. But tomorrow is built on today. Your future is built on the integrity of your actions in this exact moment. Every time you honor your word, no matter how small the action, you invest in the person you are becoming. Every time you cheat yourself, you steal from your potential. Over time, the accumulation of small choices either elevates you or erodes you. That is why every promise, no matter the size, matters. There is also a mental and emotional dimension to keeping promises to yourself. When you follow through, you prove to yourself that you are reliable, that your intentions carry weight, and that your life is guided by your choices, not by chance or external circumstances. You build resilience, self-respect, and an unwavering sense of purpose. When you break promises, you create internal conflict. You feel guilty, frustrated, and disappointed in yourself, even if no one else knows. These emotions are indicators that you are capable of more, that you are aware of your own potential, and that you are being called to rise above complacency. Ignoring these signals is to ignore your own growth, and that is the essence of cheating yourself. True power lies in the ability to keep your word to yourself, in the commitment to consistently act in alignment with your goals and values. It requires honesty, self-discipline, and courage. It requires that you confront laziness, fear, and temptation head-on, even when it is uncomfortable. It is not glamorous or easy, but it is transformative. Every step you take in honoring your promises strengthens your connection to yourself, builds momentum, and lays the foundation for lasting success. The life you dream about is not built on empty promises, shortcuts, or self-deception. It is built on integrity, persistence, and the refusal to compromise on your own potential. Every promise you keep to yourself, no matter how small, is a victory. Every promise you break is a setback. Honor yourself consistently, and your inner strength, confidence, and results will grow beyond measure. Because the person who respects their own word is unstoppable, and the life they build is unshakable. Success is not built for applause. It is built in silence. The world is quick to celebrate visible victories, the flashy moments, the dramatic breakthroughs. But the real work, the work that shapes character, builds resilience, and transforms potential into achievement, happens quietly, away from recognition. Many people make the mistake of chasing validation instead of results. They want praise, they want approval. They want everyone to notice their effort. But true progress is not dependent on who is watching. It is dependent on the discipline to do what must be done, even when no one is there to witness it, even when the reward is not immediate, and even when it feels thankless. Every step toward mastery requires repetition, focus, and patience. It is waking up early when the bed is warm, practicing skills when the audience is absent, and continuing to push forward when encouragement is scarce. The world will rarely hand out congratulations for the small victories, for the hundreds of quiet hours spent building competence, for the moments when you resisted temptation, overcame fear, or worked while everyone else rested. And that is the point. Success that depends on external validation is fragile. Success that grows from the soil of consistent effort, integrity, and internal accountability is unshakable. You cannot cheat yourself by seeking shortcuts or by doing only what is visible, because true results are measured in substance, not in applause. Many people fail because they are impatient with the process. They want recognition before results, validation before mastery, and applause before effort. But progress is a silent accumulation of small choices made every single day. Each time you show up, each time you follow through, each time you endure discomfort without complaint, you are moving closer to your goal. And often nobody notices. That is okay. Your work is not for them. It is for you. The person you will become because of your persistence, the skills you will gain, the resilience you will develop, and the results you will achieve are yours alone. They are proof that you honored your potential and refused to cheat yourself. Silent success also teaches humility. It reminds you that external validation is fleeting, that praise is unreliable, and that the only thing you can truly control is your effort. When you build quietly without seeking recognition, you focus on what matters most: mastery, growth, and impact. You become relentless because your drive comes from internal purpose, not external approval. You do not quit when recognition is absent, because your reason for pursuing excellence is stronger than the temptation to rest or the need to impress others. You do not settle for shortcuts because you know the work matters more than applause. You do not cheat yourself because you are committed to showing up fully, no matter who is watching. There is a profound power in doing the hard work without notice. It develops patience, persistence, and resilience, the qualities that carry you through challenges, setbacks, and failures. Recognition may come eventually, but when it does, it is built on a foundation far stronger than the fleeting attention of others. Those who achieve lasting success understand that applause is not the fuel that drives them. Their motivation comes from commitment, integrity, and the inner satisfaction of knowing they gave everything they had. That is the kind of success that cannot be taken away, the kind of achievement that transforms not only circumstances, but character itself. The quiet effort also allows you to focus fully on the process rather than the outcome. When you seek recognition, you risk being distracted by others' opinions, by comparisons, and by the desire for instant gratification. But when you commit to working without needing validation, you hone your craft, refine your skills, and develop a deep sense of self-trust. You become unstoppable because you are driven by purpose, not by applause. Every moment spent working quietly adds to your momentum, builds your confidence, and strengthens the resilience that will carry you through inevitable obstacles. Ultimately, success is a reflection of your consistency, your discipline, and your willingness to do what must be done when no one is watching. It is not about being noticed, it is about becoming. Every act of quiet effort, every challenge you embrace, every small victory earned in silence is proof that you are refusing to cheat yourself. The world may not recognize your struggle today, but the results will speak for themselves tomorrow. The pain of discipline is far less than the regret of compromise. It is easy to give in to temptation, to take shortcuts, to choose the path of least resistance. At the moment, it feels comfortable. It feels safe. It feels like relief. But every time you choose convenience over commitment, every time you allow laziness or fear to dictate your actions, you are cheating yourself. You may get temporary satisfaction, fleeting comfort, or the illusion of saving effort, but in reality, you are trading your future for a momentary escape. The cost of compromise is invisible at first, but it accumulates. It builds quietly until it becomes regret, the kind of regret that lingers, the kind that reminds you every day of the person you could have been, the potential you ignored, and the dreams you abandoned. Discipline is not easy, and that is precisely why it is powerful. It demands sacrifice, focus, and perseverance. It asks you to endure discomfort, to resist temptation, and to act even when your motivation is low. It requires consistency, attention to detail, and the courage to face yourself honestly. And yet, despite its difficulty, discipline is infinitely more rewarding than compromise. Every disciplined action, no matter how small, strengthens your character, sharpens your focus, and builds momentum that propels you forward. Discipline may feel painful in the moment, but it is the path to freedom, achievement, and self-respect. Compromise may feel easy in the moment, but it is the path to stagnation, frustration, and unfulfilled potential. Regret has a weight that discipline never does. It is heavy, lingering, and persistent. It follows you into your decisions, your relationships, and your dreams. When you compromise on your standards, when you cheat yourself out of effort, when you settle for less than you are capable of, regret becomes a shadow you cannot shake. You may try to justify your actions, to rationalize your choices, or to distract yourself with temporary pleasures, but the truth remains, deep down, what you could have achieved if only you had been disciplined. You know the life you could have built, the skills you could have mastered, the confidence you could have earned. That is why discipline, even when painful, is always preferable to compromise. The pain of discipline is transformative. It teaches resilience, patience, and accountability. It pushes you to act even when you are tired, when circumstances are difficult, and when success feels distant. It forces you to confront fear, to face challenges, and to rise above excuses. Every moment you choose discipline over ease, every choice to push forward rather than settle, reinforces your self-trust and strengthens your potential. Discipline is not punishment, it is empowerment. It allows you to take control of your life, to shape your destiny, and to prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you imagined. Compromise, on the other hand, erodes confidence and self-respect. It convinces you that shortcuts are acceptable, that effort can be optional, and that your potential is negotiable. It creates a cycle of mediocrity, where temporary relief is celebrated, while long-term goals slip further away. Every compromise is a small betrayal, a reminder that you are willing to settle for less than your best. Over time, these compromises compound, leaving you with the painful realization that you have allowed fear, comfort, and laziness to dictate the course of your life. The key is to reframe how you view discipline. It is not a punishment, it is a tool, a vehicle, and a responsibility. Every choice to endure discomfort, every action taken despite fear or fatigue, is an investment in your future self. The effort you put in today, the discipline you practice now, pays dividends that no compromise can match. It builds confidence, strengthens character, and creates momentum that becomes unstoppable. Discipline is the bridge between potential and achievement. Compromise is the gap that separates dreams from reality. Success is earned through consistent, disciplined action. It is measured not by convenience, but by perseverance. It is defined not by short-term relief, but by long-term results. Every time you choose discipline over compromise, you are choosing to honor your potential, to respect your word, and to invest in the life you deserve. You are refusing to cheat yourself, and you are proving to yourself that you are capable of more than excuses, fear, or laziness. Because the moment you embrace discipline and reject compromise is the moment you secure the life you were truly meant to live. As we come to the close of this journey together, remember this: every choice you make, every action you take, and every promise you keep to yourself is shaping the life you are building. The path will not always be easy, and there will be moments of discomfort, doubt, and fear. But it is in those moments that your true character is revealed. Do not cheat yourself. Do not settle for less than your potential. Face your fears, honor your word, embrace discipline, and push beyond the limits you once thought defined you. Success is not about luck, recognition, or shortcuts. It is about showing up, giving your best, and refusing to betray the person staring back at you in the mirror. Believe in yourself, commit to your growth, and take consistent action even when no one is watching. The life you dream about, the strength you seek, and the success you deserve are all within reach. It begins with integrity, persistence, and the courage to rise above excuses, comfort, and compromise. You have everything inside you to become unstoppable, to turn potential into achievement, and to create a life that no one, not even yourself, can take away. Good luck on your journey, and thank you for giving yourself the time and attention to listen, reflect, and commit. The power to change your life has always been in your hands. Never forget that.